Good morning to all. Welcome back to chemistry class. In our last class, we have ended up our class with this beautiful and colorful slide. So, we are going to study today about the branches of chemistry. So, that is branches of chemistry. About some 15 branches of chemistry are there. Our chemistry is being studied under 15 different branches. And each and every day, the chemistry or the science is growing, science is developing. So, based upon the development of science, the number of branches also will be increasing. So, as the need and necessities for our daily life or for our comfort zone. So, to make the life more comfortable, each and every day science is developing like anything. So, based upon that, the branches also is going to increase. So, now whatever the branches we have or whatever is important to us, those things we are going to study. Clear? So, now in the beginning, the first one is inorganic chemistry, organic chemistry, physical chemistry, analytical, industrial, biochemistry, geo. So the first three. So this first three is being called as pure chemistry. This is nothing but pure chemistry. So that is we are going to study in our PU level. Clear it is. So this is called pure chemistry, and the remaining all other branches are called as applied chemistry. They are nothing but applied chemistry. So whatever the things we are going to study in the from the pure chemistry, that is being applied, to improvise the things, or it has been applied in different various aspects. We are going to improvise that one, or we are going to apply all those basic knowledge to do few other things. So that is what in each field it has been considered. So that is what called applied chemistry is. Applied chemistry. So other all branches of chemistry are nothing but applied chemistry. So the pure chemistry is inorganic, organic and physical chemistry. So let us see each branch of chemistry, which what it is useful for, or under that particular branch what we are going to exactly study, we are going to check in our next slide. Before moving to that, so whatever the pure chemistry is there, that pure chemistry only you are going to study in your PU level. Next, pure chemistry. Under that pure chemistry, we have subdivision, that is organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry and physical chemistry. So before moving to that, what is this pure chemistry? So pure chemistry is deals with the attempt to understand better understanding, or attempt to get better understanding of the nature. So in the nature, what all are happening? So how the processes, how different processes are taking place. So to understand the processes which is taking place in the nature, so we are going to deal with the pure chemistry. So pure chemistry is the branch of chemistry which deals with the understanding, to get a better understanding of nature, or the processes which is taking place in the nature. So whatever this natural processes are there, we are going to study that one, we are going to understand that one better, and after understanding those concepts or those processes, we are going to draw a theory and we are going to conclude that one with an experiment. So those experiments or those theories, whatever is there, we are going to apply that one for other branches or other cases. So that application part, whatever is there, that whatever the things we have studied all together, we are going to apply that one in on another experiment or another matter. So that is what called applied chemistry is. So first we'll discuss about the organic chemistry. What is organic chemistry is? I hope it is clear. Pure chemistry is the branch which deals with the attempt to get better understanding of nature, or better understanding of processes taking place in nature. Next, so under that we have three division. One is organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, and physical chemistry. What is organic chemistry? Organic chemistry is the branch of chemistry deals with the study of compounds of carbon, hydrogen, and their derivatives. This was the very normal earlier definition. We have a few other elements also here. It has to be added. So carbon, hydrogen. So it may be oxygen. Along with carbon and hydrogen, we have oxygen. So we have phosphorus. It might be. We have halogens, nothing but chlorine, bromine, and chlorine, bromine, pyridine. Chlorine, bromine, iodine, and fluorine. So along with that, it is also sulfur. Sulfur also might be involved in such kind of compounds. So the carbon is must and should. Hydrogen, it might be with oxygen, phosphorus, halogens, that is chlorine, bromine, iodine, fluorine, and sulfur. So if such compounds are called, so their derivatives nothing but there are different kinds of compounds. So those all will be studied under organic chemistry. So when you consider a carbon, you can observe here. So we have 118 elements in the periodic table. In the periodic table, so we have 118 elements in the periodic table. Among that 118 elements, only the carbon and its compounds are studied in the case of organic chemistry. Why it is so? Why only one element is studied under organic chemistry? The remaining all in the sense, the remaining all 117 elements, whatever is there, we are going to study under inorganic chemistry. Clear it is? So 118 elements are there in the periodic table. So in that periodic table, so we have 118 elements. In that, only one element, carbon, is studied under organic chemistry, and only one element is studied under organic chemistry. When you consider only one element, carbon, why it is so special? It is so special because of two reasons. One is catenation. One is catenation, and other one is tetravalency. So tetravalency is nothing but it can able to form 4 bonds. So you can observe in the picture there, carbon is forming 4 bonds with 4 different hydrogen atom, and another one more nature is one more important property is catenation. Catenation is nothing but, so it can bond, the carbon can bond with carbon itself. Carbon can bond with carbon itself through single bond. Carbon can bond with the carbon itself through double bond, that is 2 bonds. Carbon can bond with carbon itself. So 2 triple bond, that is 3 bonds. Between 2 carbon atoms, 3 bonds are possible. Clear it is? So, and one more important thing, that is carbon, between carbon and carbon, triple bond, 3 bonds are there. And one more important thing, one more thing regarding catenation is, so catenation, it also indicates the carbon atom bonded to one another in a chain like this. So it can form a large number of carbon atom will be bonded to one another, and it can form a chain, and that is what called as catenation. That is what called as catenation. Clear? So carbon can be bonded to carbon or numerous number of carbon like a chain, it can bond to one another, and that is what called catenation. That is one property. One more property is it can form numerous number of bonds. That is, it can form single bond with carbon, it can form double bond with carbon, it can form triple bond with carbon. And another property is nothing but tetravalency. 4 bonds it can form. Clear it is? So that's why, so we can write it tetravalency. Tetravalency is possible. 4 bonds. It has an ability to form 4 bonds. That is what called tetravalency is. Clear it is? Followed. So that's why organic chemistry or a separate branch is there to study about carbon and its compounds. A very special elements many useful compounds, we have many useful medicines we have been prepared by using this carbon and its compounds. It is very useful compounds we are going to prepare under organic chemistry. So organic chemistry is a branch of chemistry, deals with the study of compounds of carbon and hydrogen along with oxygen, phosphorus, halogen, sulfur, nitrogen also. Nitrogen also we can add here. So nitrogen also is there. So along with all these elements, either it may be hydrogen, it may be oxygen, phosphorus, halogen, sulfur, nitrogen, or with all these carbon will be forming a compound, and the study of this compound is nothing but organic chemistry. Clear? So organic chemistry or study of carbon compound is due to two reasons. One is tetravalency and the other one is catenation. Two important points you should remember. Next it is about inorganic chemistry. Next is inorganic chemistry. What is inorganic chemistry? Inorganic chemistry is a branch of chemistry, deals with the study of inorganic compounds, that is other than carbon compounds. So other than carbon compounds, that is, as I said earlier, 117 elements are there. So the remaining 117 elements and its nature, properties, everything will be studied under inorganic chemistry. So we can define this one as, so it also will be dealing with the minerals which are found in the earth crust. So we have studied in your high school level also, you have studied about minerals, ores and all. So in the earth crust, minerals and ores will be there. So we will be extracting those minerals and ores from the earth crust, and we are going to extract a pure element or pure metal from it. So that extraction, that purification methods, that we are going to study in inorganic chemistry. And one more important part is bonding. How the bond takes place, why the bond takes place, how many bonds are there. So just now we have seen it is a single bond, I said, it is a double bond, it is a triple bond. How these bonds are formed, why the carbon in one compound will be with single bond, why the carbon in another compound it will be double bond, why it is triple bond. So all these things. Likewise, if you consider oxygen, between oxygen and oxygen also, we have double bond, and between nitrogen and nitrogen we have triple bond. So how these bonds are formed, why there is a variation in number of bonds between two different elements. So like that, why the bonding, how the bonding, all these things we are going to study under inorganic chemistry. So inorganic chemistry is a branch which deals with the study of inorganic compounds, that is other than carbon atom. And it also, remember, it also deals with the study of minerals, ores found in the earth crust. That also is there. Along with that bonding, it explains entire periodic table, the properties of all the elements, all the groups, all the periods we are going to study under inorganic chemistry. So that is 117 elements, its properties, its reactions, how it is going to react, what is the nature of it, everything we are going to study under inorganic chemistry. So inorganic chemistry, we can say that entire periodic table, it tells us about the entire periodic table. So the nature of all the elements which are there in the periodic table we are going to study. Clear it is? So 117 elements, nothing but periodic table it indicates. So likewise we have one more is physical chemistry. So physical chemistry is nothing but it is also a branch of pure chemistry itself. So it is completely, it is more, whatever the physical chemistry topics are there for our PU level. So almost all the chapters are with numericals, that is problems are there in that. Clear? Now, so what is physical chemistry? We shall discuss. So it is a branch of chemistry, deals with the relationship between the physical and physical properties of the substances and their chemical composition and transformation. So we have seen chemistry is nothing but it is it deals with the study of composition, properties and energy changes which is taking place in the matter. So that is what here physical chemistry is also. Physical chemistry deals with the relationship between the physical properties and their chemical composition. So when physical properties changes or when chemical composition changes, how physical properties will be affected. And when it transferred, when chemical composition is changing from one to another. So from reactant to product, the composition changes. When a reaction is taking place, the composition of the reactant is different and the composition of product is different. When the composition is changing, how the physical properties are going to change. And what about the energy changes taking place in that particular reaction. All these things will be explained and it will be studied in physical chemistry. So we have few fundamental principles also. It explains some fundamental principles also. So what are those principles will be explaining, will be it will be involved in the what a physical or chemical phenomenon, chemical or physical reactions. So in the scientific method I said, so we are going to develop a theory. Based upon that theory, we are going to conduct an experiment. So in physical chemistry, you are going to study that theory and you are going to check with the help of experiment. So how that theory will be, you are going to draw a mathematical form for it, a formula you are going to write for it. So in physical chemistry, you are going to study theories. Based upon the theories or based upon the experiments, you are going to write a formula for it. So using that formula, the similar kind of other situations will be there. The similar kind of other situations or similar kind of other experiments will be there. So if the main experiment is done with, let us take element A or a substance A we have done. To the substance B, the same experiment if it is done, what are all the changes? So that cannot be always, you can't do the experiment, you can't check. So we have done the experiment for A and it is going well with the theory also. So now what we are doing is the same experiment and the same result whatever we have drawn from that particular experiment, we are going to relate that one to B. So we have an experiment done for A. We have experiment done for A and we have written some formula for A also. Clear? Now we have substance B. And by using the formula or the theory, these two are similar kind of substances. These two are similar kind of substances. Now, whatever the formula we have drawn for this one, the same thing will be applied for this one and we are going to calculate. So, we are going to calculate what are the energy changes taking place in it and how the physical properties and chemical composition has changed in that. So, all those we are going to calculate by using physical chemistry. Clear it is? So it is basically concerned with the laws and theories of different branches of chemistry. So from different branches we have drawn some because when you consider an inorganic chemistry, we have studied entire periodic table here. That is nothing but all the properties of all the elements we have studied here. Based upon that one, we have got some other laws or some other theory has been generated. So by using that theory, we are going to conduct an experiment and that conducting experiment and that formula whatever we have generated, that one we are going to compare that one with the another element or another compound. And we are going to calculate what are all the changes taking place in that. That is what called physical chemistry. So in physical chemistry, you need to remember, so it is completely, basically it is dependent on laws, theories, and out of this laws and theories, we have mathematical expression, mathematical formula. That is a formula we are going to get. Just like E is equals to mc square. Clear it is? F is equals to m into A. All these are formulas. From the laws or from the theories, we have drawn that mathematical form or formula. That formula we are going to write. And by using that formula, we are going to calculate for other things also, for other materials or for other substances also. E is equals to mc square is for light because c is an, what it is, c is velocity of light there. But the same thing, we are going to use that one for other waves also because the light is in the form of a wave. So if some other waves or some other radiations are there which has a wave property, we can apply the same formula to that one also. Here also same thing. So the same property, same type of material we have drawn a formula for this one, and the same formula we are going to use for B also, and will be calculating or will be relating the things between the physical property changes or energy changes or the chemical composition changes which is taking place during the reaction. All this is about pure chemistry. Next we'll move on to applied chemistry. So applied chemistry is nothing but, so it is the application of the knowledge of chemistry for the benefit of mankind. So whatever we have studied, so pure chemistry is nothing but it is a study of nature. Whatever the processes it is taking place in the nature, we are going to gain a complete knowledge of the processes which is taking place in the nature, and those we are going to apply that one for the help of mankind, for the benefit of mankind, for the comfort zone, to increase the comfort zone of mankind, and that is what called as applied chemistry is. I'll repeat the statement. Applied chemistry deals with the application of the knowledge of chemistry for the benefit of mankind. So using that basic knowledge, we are going to apply that basic knowledge, and we are going to prepare for useful things which can be helpful, which can be benefit for the mankind. That is what applied chemistry is. We have numerous number of branches under our applied chemistry. Under that first one we'll see, that is analytical chemistry. So analytical chemistry is the collection of techniques. So listen to this carefully because you are studying this one for the first time. Listen to it. So collection of techniques which allows exact determination of the composition of the given sample of material. That is nothing but we have a sample in the sense we have prepared something in the lab. So we have added something. So reactant A we have taken, reactant B we have added to it. Clear it is? So we are doing some reaction in the lab. So that is A we have taken. Along with that we are preparing some B. Along with that we are adding some B to it. So when you add two reactants, the reaction will take place and you are getting a product as a C. So in book we have written that A been added with B and we are getting C. To confirm that whether it is C only or not, we are analyzing that product. So we have taken that product and we are going to do some analysis, analytical, nothing but analysis we are doing. So what type of analysis we are doing, what we need, so whether the compound is C only or not, we need to check. We are analyzing that one. So which all elements are present in it, how many atoms are present in it, so which all elements are bonded to which all other elements, how A and B are bonded to one another, how A and B are reacted with one another, and how C is formed. Clear it is? So in our earlier video we have seen carbon is bonded with oxygen there. So carbon dioxide is formed. So how many carbon atoms are there? So if you take a sample, how many carbon atoms are there? How many oxygen atoms are there? So when you say that carbon and oxygen are bonded, so you can get two types of products. One is carbon dioxide, that is CO2. So another one is carbon monoxide also. Clear it is? When carbon bonded to oxygen, you may get carbon dioxide, you may get carbon monoxide. It is CO2 and it is CO. So in analytical chemistry, what we are doing is we are checking how many number of carbon atoms are there, how many number of oxygen atoms are there. So we can conclude that if carbon atom is 8 and oxygen is 8, then it is carbon monoxide. If carbon is 8 and oxygen is 16, then it is carbon dioxide. Clear it is? So we are going to check or we are going to determine. So many techniques are there for that. So to determine all these things, the spectroscopy will call. All those techniques are one basic method is the spectroscopy. So based upon that one, we are going to calculate or analyze the sample in which what are all present, which all are compounds or which all are elements are present in it, in what ratio it is present. So based upon that one, we are going to conclude that the given material is C only or not. The given product is what a carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide. Clear it is? Followed? So this is about analytical chemistry. So next one is industrial chemistry. Industrial chemistry, this is a branch of chemistry involved in different industrial processes such as manufacture of various chemical substances. That is nothing but, so if at all in our earlier class we have studied that a toothpaste is manufactured. So a compound, the toothpaste we are not going to prepare in an only one or two boxes or one or two sachets. We are not going to prepare. We are going to prepare that one in a large scale. So we are going to prepare that one in terms of tons, in terms of barrels. We are going to prepare that one. So you can observe here an industrial setup over here. So all these are, so whatever the drums or whatever the vessels you are checking there, it is in terms of tons, in terms of barrels they are. So the production is done in a larger scale and it is for the commercial purpose, for the benefit of human beings or for the benefit of society. If it is done, then that production or that manufacturing unit is called as industry, and that is what called as industrial chemistry. Clear it is? So in the beginning we are going to do that one in the lab itself. With a smaller quantity only we are going to do it. But if it gives a proper reaction, if it produces a proper product, then we are going to do that one in a larger scale, in a large quantity we are going to do, and that is benefit for the society. Then it is what called as a industrial method, and that process is nothing but industrial chemistry. So just like our cosmetics, our toothpaste or daily things, whatever we are using, that is plastics, plastic materials, cement, glass, ceramics. So all these are nothing but it is an industrial product itself. Clear it is? All these are nothing but industrial product only, and that branch which deals with the industrial processes are nothing but industrial chemistry. Clear it is? Next one is biochemistry. Bio is nothing but life. Bio is nothing but life. So it involves, so this branch concerns itself to the study of metabolic pathways and enzymology pertaining to living organism. So it is regarding the living organism, and it also deals with the molecular, cellular and chemical activities of living organisms. So as I said, so human body is nothing but it is a matter. So many chemical reactions are taking place in human body. So those chemical reactions we are going to understand and we are going to study. So under a branch called biochemistry. Clear? So the chemical reactions, and many chemicals also have been produced in our body. So when it is just like if you are if you check the properly, that is from one time to another time our mood is going to change. So in every mood changes, every mood whenever we will be changing with our moods, some or the other chemical is being produced in our body. So it is based upon that particular chemical, so our mood is going to be changed. Clear? So likewise, some different reactions are being taking place in our body. That chemical reactions we are going to study under that is the study of chemical reactions in a living organism it is. So we are going to call that branch, that study of that particular thing is called as biochemistry. So it may be, I have used many biological words here, that is enzymology, I have used molecular, cellular. I have used all these are biological words. So that is nothing but based upon the reaction is taking place, enzymes are involved in it, or some bacteria are involved in that reaction, or some proteins are involved in that reaction. All these are nothing but so the biological molecules they are. Either it is enzyme, proteins, as well as bacteria, viruses, or some other things. So all these are biological. So you can observe here. So we have some chemicals over here. All these are biological molecules, or it is called as biomolecules actually. Clear? So the reaction of that one, how they will be acting in our body, how they will be involving themselves in the in our human body or in the living organism. Those reactions and those effects of those reactions we are going to study under biochemistry. Next branch is nothing but geochemistry. So this branch deals with the chemical processes occurring on earth, such as metamorphism of rocks, formation of petroleum, etc. It also deals with the composition of soils and rocks. So we have we have heard about this one already. Geo is nothing but earth. Geo indicates earth. So whatever the changes which is taking place on the earth, that may be due to rocks, that may be due to soil, that may be due to some other processes which is taking place on earth. So that is being studied under geochemistry. So whenever we discuss about, as I said, that is minerals, ores and all. So that is within the earth crust we have minerals and ores and all will be extracting, I said. So it is the geochemist who does all these works and who will be confirming about the minerals and ores which are present on the earth crust. Clear it is? Next one is petrochemistry. Petrochemistry is a branch of chemistry which deals with the transformation of crude oil and natural gas into useful products and raw materials. So petrochemistry, nothing but so whatever the LPG gas we are using, petrol whatever we are using, diesel whatever we are using, all these things are transformed from an crude oil. So crude oil is being extracted from the earth crust, so which is being transformed into a useful material as natural gas, as petrol or diesel or some other products of it. Clear it is? So this study of this one, the study of all these mechanism is nothing but petrochemistry. Next one is radiochemistry. So it is the branch of chemistry which deals with the study of radioactive materials, both natural as well as mankind. So that is a radioactive material. So we have heard about this one in the periodic table, radioactive materials. So radioactive materials are the one which undergoes decay, decay very soon. So such kind of materials are nothing but radioactive materials. Their nature, their properties we are going to study under radiochemistry, and many more things regarding this one it is there. So that is nothing but nuclear fusion process, nuclear fusion processes. So all these things, as well as nuclear one more branch itself is there, nuclear chemistry. So there also it comes but radioactive substances, nuclear reactions we are going to study under radiochemistry. And it also deals, it is also been used for checking the reaction mechanism. A reaction is taking place, whether the reaction is taking place in that form only or not. To check the mechanism, we are going to use radioactive substances. Next one is biotechnology. So biotechnology is the one, so it refers to the technological applications which uses biological systems, living organisms or their creativities to make or modify products or processes for specific use. So biotechnology combines various disciplines like genetics, microbiology, biochemistry, so cell biology and many more things. And by using all the knowledge of all these areas, so we are going to develop a technique for the beneficial effects. So biotechnology is mainly, bio is life, mainly for the life system or living system. So for the living system, some modifying some products or some concepts we are going to modify, or some products we are going to modify for the specific use, and that technology or the technological application is called as biotechnology. Next one, very important thing, medicinal chemistry. So medicinal chemistry, it is also called as pharmaceutical chemistry. Remember, medicinal chemistry or pharmaceutical chemistry. It is a scientific discipline at the intersection of chemistry and pharmacology. So pharmacology is involved, or it involves the designing, synthesizing and developing the medicine. So pharmacology is nothing but, so it involves designing, synthesizing as well as pharmaceutical, developing a pharmaceutical medicine. So this one involves chemicals, because whenever we say a medicine, nothing but it is a chemical. Clear? So the synthesizing this chemical is nothing but chemistry. So that chemical is being used as a medicine. So chemistry is nothing but the reactions we know, and the reactions will give rise to a product, and that product is a chemical. That product is used as a medicine. That is what medicinal chemistry is. So medicinal chemistry is a branch in which a chemical is produced or chemical is designed, synthesized. Design in the sense we are going to do that one on pen, using pen and paper. We are going to write and check. We are going to design the reaction. If you put this, if you put A and B as the reactant, you will be getting C as the product. So that is what designing is. So we are going to design them. Synthesizing in the sense we are going to do that one in a lab. Practically we are doing that one in a lab, and we are synthesizing. We are preparing. That is synthesizing. After that we are going to, as I said, we are going to check that one in analytical chemistry. By using analytical techniques, we are going to check whether C is correct or not. Clear it is? So whether we got C only or not, we are going to check that one using analytical chemistry. And after that we are going to test that one, whether that is useful, whether that doesn't causes any harm or not, whether it can be used as a medicine or not. We are going to check that one, and that is what called as analysis we are doing regarding the medicine. After that, if at all, if it is proven to be a good medicine, then we are going to develop that one in an, then that one we are going to produce that one in a huge amount. That is what called developing. We are going to improvise that one, and further we are going to use that one for other diseases also or other problems also. Clear? So that is 3 steps. So synthesizing, now designing first, then synthesizing, then developing. So if at all, if it is done with a chemical, through a chemical reaction we are going to do, a chemical is produced and that chemical is used as a medicine, then the study of that branch is called as medicinal chemistry or pharmaceutical chemistry. So medicinal chemistry involve the 3 steps, that is designing, synthesis and development. And we are going to check that one. We are going to identify whether it is useful for any diseases or can be used as a medicine or not. We are going to check that one. Clear it is? So this is about the few important branches of applied chemistry. So thank you. Stay tuned. Stay home. Stay safe.